Word became flesh, God's only Son. Light of the world, the righteous one.
So just to start off, what is homosexuality? Let's just get a definition out. Because I have found a lot of times in conversations, people just talk right past each other because you don't mean the same things. So we need to understand, what are we talking about? What does the Bible mean? And what does the culture mean? So whenever we're having those conversations, we're not just talking past each other and misunderstanding. I believe that the Bible, and we'll see this as this week and next week unfold, that the Bible addresses the term homosexuality as referring to the act itself, engaging in the activity. Just simply having the attractions is not what the Bible is referring to, but it's what the culture is referring to. Whenever the culture says that someone is gay or someone is homosexual, they mean they have the attractions. According to them, if you have those feelings, if you have those attractions, call it orientation, whatever you want to call it, that means you are gay. And then, of course, they would say, well, then it's okay for you to go do that. And so their definition, whenever we say that homosexuality is a sin, we mean the activity, not the feelings. Whenever we say that some people say homosexuality is a choice. Well, we know what we mean by that because we're talking about the activity, and you choose to act. But that's not what they hear because they believe that just having the feelings, having the attractions is what defines them as being gay. So actually some of those terms that we usually use, some of those terms that we use actually come across as offensive to them because of this miscommunication. So we'll say things like God hates the sin but loves the sinner. You know what word they heard in that phrase? Hate. It's the only word they heard. Because it's who they believe they are, it's how they define themselves. Whenever we say, well, it's a choice, we mean the activity. That is not how they hear it. Because they don't define it as the activity, they define it as the orientation, the attraction that they have. And so they hear us saying that they chose to have those feelings. They didn't. Most of them, if they could give it up, they would. Yes, please, sign me up for the thing that makes me a social outcast and sends me through life with people looking differently at me. Sure, sign me up for that one. I'll choose. No, they don't choose that. Then there's this idea of identity. And this is one of the things that I think that, I hate to use the terminology, we lost the battle, but we definitely lost control of the conversation as soon as the culture was able to successfully define this as an identity issue. They were able to successfully define someone's sexual preferences in the same category as race, that it is who they are. But your attractions don't define who you are. Your feelings, your appetites, your desires, your preferences don't define who you are. Right? And I can make this very clear because studies have actually shown that teenagers who identify as homosexual, who say they have same-sex attraction, by the time they're young adults in their 20s, they're no longer have those attractions. They're now, I mean, just their bodies undergo the full change and everything, and they're now attracted to the opposite sex. So if Bob or Susie is attracted to same sex when they're a kid, but then by the time they're an adult, they're not, are they no longer the same person? No, they're still the same person. Their attraction wasn't something that defined them, it was just something that was true about them. It's not who they are, it's just something about who they are. Is that making sense? Because just because your appetites change doesn't mean you as a person changed. And so it is not identity.